Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today we're doing some more memes for the day, and we have more of a Dungeons and Dragons theme. So, as we get into this, please, hopefully, you enjoy this. It's fun bringing these to you every week that I've been doing this, and hopefully, I'm finding some good ones that kind of resonate with people. So here we go. Optimism. Motivate yourself out of this one. It's not fun trying to go toe to toe with Tiamat here. For all those that are very familiar with all the dragons and gods and the like. So, all right. Shh, I thought I heard something. You've just, or you're just paranoid because we stole all that gold. Roll perception. Oh, you rolled a one. I believe you think everything's going great. Yeah, unfortunately, those ones always seem to get us in the end. Um, Never at the right times either. All right, treasure room is protected by heavily armed guards. What's your next move? I roll a charisma check and try to seduce them, and a one. I don't think it goes well. And it's nice being able to see Gary Gygax up there. All right, background. Uh, to become to become great, you must first honor greatness or assassinate them and steal their stuff. So one way or the other, you can become great. Ancient artifacts. In the hands of a creative DM, a single item can tell more about the world than the entire campaign. This weapon was forged by ancient elves, Soviet elves. It's always wonderful when people kind of get the old Lord of the Rings and getting Gandalf into some fun memes here. And I think we have another one here in a little bit too. The face you make after finding the new item, and the DM only describes it as giving off a mysterious aura. Yeah, that always makes one question exactly what's all going on. And you don't know if you should really pawn it off or keep it. So, yeah, I agree. Where's our mighty wizard? We sure could use some help. I'm getting a Mountain Dew. Does anybody want one? Damn it, man. It's your turn. And sure, grab some Cheetos. Getting into character, I think we can all agree this is pretty accurate at times. And yes, it most definitely is. I've heard a lot of stories, especially of people online doing things or whatever, but this being more so of being around a table or so and kind of going through things. Self control, there's always one in the party that has none. Leroy! You know, that's getting kind of old. The fact that it's actually made it into a game show um, is pretty interesting. You're lost in a forest with no roads. What do you do? I will locate one of the natives and ask for assistance. Rolls a one. Ta-da! Misa, you're so humble servant. Yes, Jar Jar Binks, the village idiot that no one could get rid of and blame for so many other things. And yes, I mean he is just simply the village idiot. So yes, I got a natural 20 to finish my report on time. Obviously, I'm going to guess that they're playing humans in households. Um, that trope has gone through a couple of iterations over the time, and that, but it is funny always seeing it brought up from time to time. So, all right, the rest of the party. Are you sure this will work? Wild magic sorcerer. I have no idea. Definitely a fireball. Sometimes it's just for comic relief. Um, I'm one of those guys that's always the DM, and I always err on the side of the characters. I want the guys to stay into the game, have fun with it all, and it's just um, sometimes you get a bend a rule or two just to make it work out. But we don't have a lot of wild magic going on in the groups that I have. But for those that do, I'm sure it definitely gets to be some fun. All right, when a sword turns 100 years old, it gets its own soul. Cut. If the soul can find an empty vessel, it can turn it into a thrall. and the sword can finally fulfill all of its worldly desires, feeding the geese. Swordscomics.com has a very interesting comic here. I really have not seen very many outside of just seeing this one. Um, Give them a check, see how good they are. Something like this, kind of lighthearted, kind of a wholesome comic. I think it's something worth checking out. The dragon when the bard tries to seduce it. Any particular reason you took your pants off? The trope has gone around, and I think it really started, at least that I know of, from the gamers, and that is how many years old now. But just the gamers. Actually, I think it's from Darkness Rising, when it was the guy was playing the bard and he's trying to seduce everything. So, but still, ever since seeing the gamers doing it, I've noticed a lot of that trope with the bard. Multiclassing, because wizards run out of spells. And yes, that is one of the interesting things. And it's one of the things, I guess, is, how do you balance that out? Because when you're watching movies, wizards just, spell after spell after spell. But, when we're doing role playing games, most notably Dungeons and Dragons, you can only cast so many spells in a day. Uh, you know, at some point, I mean, they've kind of improved it in a way in like the fifth edition, having more cantrip spells that do a little bit more damage that can level up. But it is, compared to the fighter and the thief and some of the others where, they can attack after attack after attack and they can keep going, especially with the old mages and that, you had to kind of pick your time to really fight. Sometimes you're sitting there with the old quarterstaff trying to attack something because you're saving your spells for that one time you really need it. Players, looks like someone already killed the big bad evil guy. The DM, nope. The big bad evil guy is what killed that thing. That would be a scary thought in a lot of regards. um, to sit here and say a big serpent creature like that is dead because of the thing you've got to kill. And of course, in role playing games, and I will say, like in the Final Fantasies or some of the other games where you pick up as a generation after the last one or two or three generations, and the evil has once again come back in and taken over. What's the new big guy? What is that one like? It sometimes gets to be a bigger and bigger and bigger creature. Bards, the source of every half breed template in D&D. That does it. I'm I'm neutering him right this bloody instant. My ex. Honestly, I have no idea how this happened. Daddy. And again, it's that same trope that's really kind of really taken a life of its own after seeing it in, like I said, the gamers. The DM describes a room without any features and nothing of interest. The party, new PC. Could this be a trap? Veteran PC. I always, I always think everything could be a trap, which is why I'm still alive. You know, Honestly, I don't do a ton of traps in mine. I use it sparingly because I think if you use it too much, then they just naturally assume everything's a trap. And it's fun to throw a harmless trap in here and there, something to do a little bit of damage, but nothing, again, to keep in that same theme that I have talked about. I don't purposely try to kill off the players. So to keep it lighthearted, to do a little bit of damage and trip them up and make them wonder once in a while. Small size, taller than you when you're below 0 hit points. Again, it's another trope. Really, to me, I've seen this more in manga, and I know that there is a series out there that I really kind of liked. It's more of an adult theme to it. Um, but it has some very good moral issues in that, and a great moral compass in that was in there. But again, it had a character that a young short lady or whatever, who was actually more she was the protector of the gentleman in the group, and there was another lady there, and she was big and bulky, and obviously worked out. And it's the little girl that was beating everything up. I find that trope to be funny and interesting at times. The reality, being what it is, but it is funny to sit there and say that you have this little, like a halfling or something like that, that's actually just running around kicking butt. It is kind of funny. You encounter a small tortoise cowering inside its shell. What do you want to do? I lick it. Rolls a one, and there goes the party. Uh, and it's cute having a little dog in here. Like a new player, you just kind of poke it with a stick, just trying to say hi or whatever, and it turns out to be some of the worst things. And honestly, I know that in many years past, we had played a module where there was a huge beast of some sort that was in all places in a toilet in this citadel kind of destroyed cityscape or whatever. And I think we almost lost half the group fighting because someone said, "Oh, well, my character will go to the bathroom," and it just went horrible. And of course, then the rest of the group, I think, got killed by a gorgon. So, uh, yeah, it was an interesting time. I don't remember what the campaign or the module was, but it was an interesting module. It was out of a box set long time ago, and I might have even changed a little bit in there. Um, but it's funny. And sometimes it's like I said, I don't try to kill off players or whatever, but when silly things happen and bad rolls go along with them, it just gets to be silly all the way around. All right, and then last but not least, here this should be our last one. When you finish a meal at a super friendly NPC's house, make a Constitution saving throw. Obviously, this was not the place to really eat, but it's all in fun. Something like this is just give everybody some bad bad day for the next day or something. Uh, Almost like saying your characters ate at a Taco Bell or something like that. Suddenly now they're having an explosive time. So with that, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for visiting. Hopefully you got a good laugh or two out of this, and we'll see you in the next video.